my friends, let me just fix something here. I didn't put in here, we were still on Wi-Fi, so now we're hard connected here. So you hopefully will not have this, hang on, guys, there we go. All right, I think it's going to get better. Amnon, hello, our producer.
Hello.
Uh, how is the picture there?
The picture
Is
is
it
fine,
getting
but
better?
if you were on wireless, you cannot just plug it in. It will not switch. You have to disconnect and
Oh,
reconnect. So it's
well,
okay, but it's fine.
I, yeah, okay. Well, my friends, it has been here a good and bad week. Uh, I don't know if I had told you my husband had quite an episode with his kidneys. And as a homeopathist and believing in homeopathy and knowing what homeopathy can do, I was naturally trying to fix it. So I have been fixing it, but you know what? If your kidneys are gone or shutting down, um, even homeopathy is not going to do that much more. Although I must say, it has each time that I found another remedy, each time that I observed the symptoms. And the only thing that I can say that is really good about it is that I am learning so much by the minute because I take on most of the time the most difficult cases. And I have three cases right now. One, my husband, another person who had mental problems for 10 to 15 years, and I'll talk to you about that, and another person who has also mental problems, but also a very unhappy marriage. So through that, we there's a lot of stress, and then there's a lot of bodily problems. The body will start to show signs of breaking down if there's too much stress. Now, stress we have talked about that many times. I have talked about that many times. Stress can come in many ways. And this year has been for all of us a high stress year. I mean, even if the only time you can really avoid it is live by the ocean or in the woods without television and radio and a cell phone. I mean, then you don't have the stress because you do not have all of this onslaught of negativity that comes through the airways in so many ways. And it does produce stress for all of us. Um, one of the major things with one of my client, and most of these clients are a little older also, I must say, um, and when you're a little older, you can't really shrug off stress as easily. Although I must say, I've had several calls from younger people that would say, make us a remedy that I can sleep. People really have a major problem with sleep, a major problem. Now, as you know, I do make remedies for that. We have the remedy, the sleep remedy, which really works. It comes in a 2-ounce bottle. We found that the 4-ounce bottle, because it is homeopathy and herbal remedy, that it doesn't last as long. I mean, the remedy doesn't it starts falling apart. So we put it in a 2-ounce bottle. It lasts you also a month, 2 months, because you only have one spray. Um, and then even if you wake up in the middle of the night, you spray that in your mouth and you fall right back to sleep. So, but if you do not want to have that, here are a few things that you can do that will help with you falling asleep and staying asleep. But first, I want to tell you a little about me if you've just tuned in so that you know who I am. I'm Gisela DiCarlo, and I've been practicing natural health and homeopathy for over 15 years. I grew up in a household where my grandmother was a healer. So all my life, I have tried to stay away from doctors unless I had to have something sewn back on or something fixed or taken out. Like at one point, we all it seemed like every doctor had to give every woman a hysterectomy. Well, I had endometriosis too, and naturally, first thing they did, gotta have a hysterectomy. Well, in those days, which was like 25 years ago, I didn't really know that much as I know now. Uh, if this would have happened to me now, I wouldn't have allowed that. And they don't do it anymore as much because they have found we really don't have spare parts. I mean, for a while, doctors all thought we had spare parts. Oh, tonsils, they're infected, out with them. Appendicitis, we don't need that, out with it. Well, in some cases, it was the right thing to do. And in some cases, it was probably a little premature and probably not exactly because, uh, the human body is not made of parts that are useful. Everything that we have in our body, the body needs. Okay, so the next time you go to the doctor and the doctor says, oh, well, we're going to have to take the gallbladder out, or we're going to have to do this and that, try a few other things first before you agree to that. Unless you're in dire pain and have already, the gallbladder is already so bilious and so infected and so large that it causes you so much pain that there's no other way. But for the longest time, gallbladder operations and hysterectomies for women especially were the norm and was a nice income for doctors. Not a good idea. And again, I say it again, always try natural health and homeopathy or whatever natural health. Always try that first, then go to the doctor. Don't go the other way around, because all natural health works with your immune system, with the vital force in your body, the force that keeps you healthy and alive. All of these, especially homeopathy, helps to keep your body healthy, the vital force. And homeopathy works with that on the electromagnetic waves in your body, helps to keep things flowing, helps to strengthen your body. Whatever is there for your body to self-heal, homeopathy will use. So the remedy does not make you better, but your own body, because we were designed to heal ourselves, as animals were also, and as plants are. We are designed to heal ourselves. If we interfere with the self-healing process by premature medical interventions, by medications that are potentially caustic to our system, if we interfere with that self-healing process, we will harm ourselves. We will not the symptom may be gone, but as you know, many of the medicines that are being Hoxton. It's almost like snake oil on TV. Every second commercial is another medication for something or other. But when you hear in the end, then that they say, and the result may be that you die or that you may get worse, I don't know. I would only take that then when it is the last resort. There is no other way anymore to help yourself. So keep that in mind, okay? If you have any problems at all. And sleep is one of the things that is super important for us. But before I go into that, I would like to introduce Amnon. Amnon, our producer, who is always generous to donate his time, just like I do. And tell the folks of how they can ask me questions if they would like to.
You can call with your phone, 919-518-9773. Or if you're on Skype, you can connect to Computers 2K Voice. But
yes,
I know you're listening. I don't see you in the chat. Log into the chat right on that screen you're looking at right now. Unless, of course, you're on the phone and driving or something.
Well, that you shouldn't be doing.
Right.
You should not be doing. You should not be on the phone driving. I had to drive last week quite a distance to a client, and I was tempted, but then I said, no, I am too valuable at home. What would my poor husband do if I would not be around, or if I would be in the hospital? And I saw some horrific accidents. One, a tractor trailer, I'm sure, because when you drive long distances, it's so easy. It's boring. And the temptation is so great to either answer the phone or just quick text somebody or just quick call. Don't do it. Don't do it. It is so dangerous. We always think that we can do so much more than we actually can. And I have tried, believe you me, I'm a multitasker, and I've tried it. And I thought, oh no, this is way too, because especially these phones now, where you might make a mistake and then you want to correct it. And don't do it. So that's just, I know none of our listeners are doing it. But so let me tell you about what this one gentleman, for 15 years, he had this problem. In fact, it was a referral, as I always work with referrals, from a friend who said, you know what, this guy is almost ruining his marriage because it seems like he's continuously unhappy, and if he's not unhappy, he barks at his wife like, do this, do that, and why do I have to do this, and what's wrong with you, and this very erratic, and she said, my girlfriend, who was the referral, she said, his wife is my girlfriend, and she was crying to me, and she said, I don't know what to do with it anymore. And, you seem to have you're making some remedies for anxiousness and so on. And maybe that would help him. I said, well, you know what? In this case, it was a real strong case. It was really, it's been going on already for 15 years or more, even longer. And I said, I would like to really talk to the person first before I dispense anything there. I don't believe in just handing out, a pill or just telling people, oh, take this and you'll be fine. I don't believe in that. So I got the gentleman on the phone and we got talking, and he was really upset about this too. He did not want to act like this, but it was something inside that controlled him to do these things and to do. And many people that are married or in a relationship or even at work, they have these problems. They have these, I don't want to call them mood swings, but they are these forces. It's sort of like, well, I'm just going to, they cuss, they swear, and they blow up at the slightest thing, and then they're sorry, and then they are upset about it too, but they can't help it. I would like to send Donald Trump one of the remedies, because I think he has the same problem. And so I said, you know what? Let me think about this. Let me go and research this. Well, I went through many remedies, because if you don't know of how a homeopathist selects the remedies, this is what we do. We hear the case, and then what I do is I list all the symptoms. I take the most important symptoms first, like this blowing up really at no cost. Like you didn't hand me the salt shaker the right way, or you squeezed the toothpaste from the wrong end or from the middle, and now stupid things like this. They blow up and they can't help themselves, these people. So I listed all the symptoms that were there. Then I go and I select, then I start reading remedies. Now, being experienced homeopaths, when you first start or when you're a novice or really don't know much about homeopathy, it's very hard to find the right remedy right away, okay? Because you don't have a, a repertoire of remedies in your head. So what you do then is you have to start reading all of the, well, there's 6,000 remedies, so good luck. When I first started, I was sometimes successful, sometimes not so, sometimes, and most of the time not so, because I didn't put it together right. Now what I do is I have a repertoire of remedies already in my head that I think might have one or two of the symptoms that I'm looking for in their makeup. So then I go and start reading those. Are there more than one or two symptoms? I have to have a minimum of 3 to 4 symptoms that correspond to this remedy. So let's say somebody has mental problems, but he also has constipation, but he also has bleeding gums, but he also cries when he hears music, or has a creaking of bones, has problems getting up, is very lethargic. You get the message, right? And so then I pair that with that, and usually outcome about 2 or 3 remedies. Now there are computer programs for that. I don't use a computer program. I do that all by hand because I find I'm more accurate that way. So I found the remedy of nut myrrh that corresponded to this case. So I paired this remedy with a herbal ingredient that has calming influences. Not always do I do that, but sometimes I do. And I sent it to the person. Well, I got a call after 4 days of how relaxed and how happy the person was all of a sudden. It just made me, it just made me all warm and fuzzy. I just was like, yeah, it's great. Homeopathy to the rescue. I'm so happy when it works because that's what it's all about. Now, not myrrh, I then said, well, let me see what else this remedy can do. This remedy is really quite miraculous because if, for instance, somebody has vertigo or weakness of limbs, that can also help. And it can help especially children who are on Ritalin or overactive. Now, guys, the ones who have been listening here for a while, that I also treat animals. So then I compare to and say, well, what animal would not myrrh be for? And the one that came to mind that is always a little bit snappy is one of those little, not help me, those little ratty little things. They are about yay big, and they look like a little Doberman pincher. What are they called? I'll think of it in a minute. They're sort of yappy, and they will nip on your heels when you walk into the door faster than you can say, go away. I mean, they are just right there. And I bet you, if you would give that dog a dose of nut myrrh, it would not be quite so overexcited and be quite so snappy. I haven't tried it yet, but if any of you have a pet out there that wants to try that and wants to report back to me, because my pets they don't do that. My pets are not, they don't exhibit any explosive anger, But if you have a pet like that, try nut myrrh and see if that will work. I would love to know if that works on your pet, okay? And just call in or follow me on Twitter. Is my life, my will on Twitter. Message me on Twitter. I will answer back. Doesn't cost you a dime. And we all will hopefully end up happy with a nice result. Now, about my husband, he was his kidney. It was really, there had to be several remedies, and I am not going to explain all of the remedies to you here because each person has their own remedy set or their own, it only works for them. And in that order, you give them the remedies in that order. That's why you go to school. I went to school for over 4 years to learn this, and then I practiced. I practiced on my family. I practiced on my animals. Any friends that wanted to have, before I even started to charge money, because I needed to learn. Now that I am now, I can say I'm better at it. Will anybody ever be so good that they don't have to learn anymore? No, homeopathy, especially homeopathy, is a lifelong learning. You continuously have to learn. And, and it's not something that just because it doesn't have any side effects for the most part, that it doesn't do anything bad. Well, no, it really can't harm you in a way that a pharmaceutical concoction can harm you. But you do want to be also careful and always ask someone. If you're thinking of taking a homeopathic remedy, or if you have a health problem that you need an answer to and you don't want to ask it online here on Sundays, I understand. You can Twitter me the question, message me. um, it's very easy. We all use it. We all do it. And I am on Twitter at least once a week, if not, more. So you will get an answer within at least a week. Okay. So, ask me some questions on it, because I welcome it. And whenever you ask a question, and hopefully it will be a real hard one, so I have to really research it and I have to really look for the answer too, it benefits me too, because I'm learning. So it benefits both of us. And like I said, I would really welcome the thought of doing that. So anyway, so here we had this gentleman who has this great result, and I was yay, 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 yeah. And my poor husband, who had really through a food poisoning, that's all I could entertain. We had some food, and I think I had talked to you about that at one point. But ever since then, it hasn't been right. And then last week, he started to have a fall back again, and his kidneys are really in dire need of attention, of something other than what I'm giving him right now. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to go and get a blood test, and I'm going to talk. He has a very, very understanding and good doctor who knows me, and I'm going to have a conversation with him what else we can give him, and what else we can do for him, that he will stick around a little longer. He's 87, and I want to keep him. I don't want to, live my life without him. And so I'm going to do everything to keep him alive. And all of us do that with our loved ones. All of us want to keep us healthy and living. Thank God my neck, remember I had this problem with a pinched nerve. All of that is done. I have no more problems. Again, homeopathy and CBD oil. Now, all of my products that I make, if you're interested in one of the products, Twitter me. Tell me I'm interested in that. I will see that you get a bottle, okay? And all of that is just fine. I have no more problems. I also am diabetic, and I was not going to have the conventional diabetes pharmaceutical medicines. So I went to homeopathy. In my case, Syzygium, I had to take it for a while, and I had to test my blood sugar at least 3 times a day to see when I was good or when I wasn't good. And whenever my blood sugar went a little higher, I took the Syzygium. And then I would wait and then test it in the morning again. And I always took it when my blood sugar was higher than 150. Now my blood sugar is, even after I eat, between 110 and 135, 140, even after I eat. So my body has worked itself so that it can now really regulate the glucose level in my blood. Um, that's why I said to you, your body heals itself. Um, I do make a remedy for that you can spray, so it's easy. It also has an herbal compound that is uh, really a blood sugar eater. It just takes the blood sugar. Now, if somebody has high blood sugar of over 200, I would really then say, okay, go have your medical intervention, because that's dangerous if you have that for a long time, because it ruins your kidneys, it ruins your eyes, it does havoc on your body. So don't play around with it. But you can take this alongside and then monitor it that way. You also have to monitor it with diet and some exercise. You have to do a little bit of walking, a little bit of, and try to stay away from the high sugar stuff. Uh, Not good for you in the first place, second or third place, but it tastes good, right? And we
Gisela,
do all, yeah.
how do you spell that?
Syzygium, Syzygium. I think that's right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Do I have one up here? No, I don't. But I'm pretty sure that is the way it is spelled. The first three letters are SZY.
Okay, I'll check it.
Yeah, check it. And you can take that remedy by itself, just, and take it. If you take it the way I'm telling you, that you test yourself when your blood sugar is higher than 150,
Okay.
I even took it 140. I saw that blood sugar was 135, 140. I would take a small dose.
All right, they have, when I type that into Google, they come up with Syzygium aromaticum, Syzygium cumini, Syzygium
Aromaticum.
aromaticum.
And yeah, but use the homeopathic remedy, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Not the herbal remedy, because the herbal remedy, because it is a plant.
Oh, it's cloves.
Yeah, yeah. The herbal one acts differently. The homeopathic remedy acts differently than the clove by itself, or the clove.
Okay.
You know. And there was a time in the 60s where clove cigarettes were really popular. Do you remember that, Amnon?
Which one?
Clove cigarettes.
No.
Yeah, they were really, we called it the fake high, or the fake marijuana.
Oh.
You got a little high from it. Just a touch, not a lot. By the way, CBD oil, for any of you out there who's using CBD oil in large amounts, like every day, a couple of drops, or, once or twice a day, a couple of drops for pain or so on, be aware that it can cause memory lapse. New findings are coming out with that. So that's why I only put into my remedies 1 drop. So if that 1 drop, you space it over a couple times a day or twice a day, you won't have a problem. But because it has very low THC and very high CBD. But if you use it straight, if you use the CBD oil straight, many people are cooking it themselves because there's on the internet, you can find out how to do it. It's a little dangerous because you have to use alcohol to do that, and you have to have a very high potency of alcohol, like 90 proof. And if you do that not in a careful way, it can backfire, literally. Okay, so be careful when you do it, or if you do it. I would just buy it, because you can buy it over the internet now. Now in Pennsylvania, we are going to have, hopefully, when Obama goes out, marijuana will be legalized. I am for it, not so much for the smoking part or the high part, to tell you the truth, because I find being a little on the woozy side, as you can be with marijuana, or being not so much really in touch with the world, is not my thing. I like to be always right there, and I like my brain to work at its optimum whenever it can. But marijuana should be made legal for all those people with severe pain, like when I had my pinched nerve. It was a very good case. I have a lot of sympathy for those people now. And it should be for many reasons, Now, here is with not myrrh. I want to give you one more reason why that is a miracle. And you should be Natura Muraticum. You should research that. Google it under homeopathy and read the remedy. You will find it has a lot of applications for children. So many children today have ADHD, and not more may be the answer for this explosive behavior that we see in many children today. Okay? Now, any of you out there who really have a problem sleeping and can't really go to sleep, or they fall asleep, and which is very prevalent, and then an hour later or 2 hours later they are up, and now they watch television or read or do whatever, and there's a whole industry already that tries to sell you stuff towards this for you to learn to sleep. Well, you don't have to buy any of those. Don't buy any sleeping pills. Don't do any of that. Here's what you do. You buy the best whole milk that you can find. And if you can buy whole milk from a farm, that's even better. But if you can't, if you have to have it, that it is pasteurized, buy the best whole milk, but it has to be whole milk. It can't be 1% or 2%, has to be whole milk. The fatty parts in there help to do what I'm going to tell you. Then you put a teaspoon of honey into it, stir it real well, and if you are diabetic, you just add a small amount of cinnamon in there too. Stir the whole thing, stick it in the microwave for a couple of seconds to warm it. Don't have it hot, just warm, okay? I mean, warm enough so that you can drink it comfortable. Go to bed, sit in bed and sip your milk over about 5. If you have if you have a mug, I usually have these little mugs. I have one mug that I use just for that. But then I'm a nut too, so I have things for everything. So it's about yay high, about 6 ounces, 7 ounces. And I sit and I sip it. If you want to have television on, have television on. I would not suggest it. Better having a little book or an article, a magazine article or whatever. Better to read something that is not too interesting. Don't read a book that gets you so that you want to finish it that night. But have something that is moderately interesting. Sip your milk, and you will see that by the time you're sipping this, the 10 minutes or 15 minutes is up, you will be already drowsy, and you turn off the light, put the cup down, and go to sleep. I promise you, I swear to it. And you can tell me off if it doesn't work, because it has never once not worked. If in the middle of the night you wake up, many people wake up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, do the same thing. Don't sit there and don't lie there and think, oh, well, I wish I was asleep. Oh, well, I wish I was, oh, no, well, I really have to do tomorrow this, and then there's this, and then maybe I should be doing that. Don't do that. Don't have that monkey in your head that constantly talks to you and you talk to it. And by the time you do fall asleep, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Don't do that. Get up, make yourself a cup of milk. Just like I said, honey, milk, if you are diabetic, some cinnamon in it. Sip it. But everybody who does this always reports to me, Gisela, I don't remember how I fell asleep, but I woke up the next morning and I felt great. So with that, I'm going to leave you today. Take my advice. Do that. If you do need to get in touch with me, I say it again, Twitter me, my life, my will, because it is your will and your life. With that, I wish you a wonderful Halloween. Dress up. Normally, my girlfriend and I, we dress up for Halloween. We do kooky things. I don't think Halloween is just for kids. But this year we probably won't, because I will stay home and take care of my animals and my husband. And so this Halloween is not going to be quite so happy. But I will end up making a fabulous pumpkin soup. And we will have pumpkin soup with turmeric and curry and a little butternut squash in it, and carrots. I puree it all, throw in a little cream over it just before we eat it, and it is the most delicious Halloween dinner that you can have. Fresh crust bread with it. That's it. Yeah, even the ghost would like my soup. All right, my dears. Have a wonderful one, and I'll see you all next Sunday. Stay in touch. Send me a note. Tell me you're alive and well. Tell me if you try any of these things. Okay? Bye for now.
You're tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, My Life, My Will with Gisela DiCarlo, The Tanya Love Show, Health Then with Debbie Bruck, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Triangle Be Well with Howard Jacobson, Lunch and Learn with Rabbi Yisrael Cutler, Lessons of Vietnam with NCVVI members, Current Affairs with Amnon Nissan. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section on nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Atomos.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.